What's up, y'all? This is Hailstorm adding my 2 cents to the miracle effect, and I'm going to get right into it. We are saying things like, am I next? Am I next? So you mean to tell me that a officer of the law commits a crime against humanity and kills a black child or a black man or woman, and we put on a sign, am I next? No. Are you next? We have to stop allowing them to not only victimize our loved ones, but victimize our future. That has to stop today. Once you commit a crime against humanity, you are no longer an officer of the law. Period. If that good police officer refuses to arrest that rogue member for committing crimes against our community, then they are a gang. That was a gang assassination. And so it is time for us to start standing up and stop accepting these crimes against humanity. It's been going on for too long. If you are arresting our people for petty crimes that you know you wouldn't do across the bridge, then that's kidnapping. If you are killing our people with made up excuses, then you're a murderer and you shall be treated as such. But we will not continue to empower these gangsters to put gun to head to the ones we love. It's very simple. Respect us and we will respect you. So here's the thing. A lot of people say that Black Lives Matter is concerned about police killing black people, but they're not concerned about black on black crime. And we've already dispelled the myth of black on black crime. You already understand that crime is crime. There is no black on black. Crime is crime. But let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about crime in our communities or assaults in our communities. If we had a justice system that we could trust to come in and protect and serve, we would not be left to our own devices. That is the problem. We have to have a justice system that we can trust will come in and administer the proper responses when we call. That is the only way that you will reduce the amount of conflicts in the community. It doesn't always take an arrest. It doesn't always take jail time for much of the issues that we face. Sometimes it's just removing the person from the situation so that they can get some mental health support. Learning some communication skills. Treating people like humans. Garnishing a check. We have to stop allowing the police to turn us into prisoners of war. And what is a prisoner of war? A prisoner of war is us handing over our people for any given reason. We are upset because somebody crossed us, and so we hand them over. And we've all been there. Or somebody made up a law and gave it a beautiful name, and we say, well, they just should have known better. They just shouldn't have done that. There's a difference between somebody shouldn't have done that and somebody getting their freedom taken away. Just because you should have done a thing doesn't mean that the proper response is jail. And we have to stop just turning them over because the lawmakers came up with a nice name for it. That's the same thing that happened in Africa, right? Here's the thing. We can't turn our people over. There is no price. There is no name. There is no language for giving them an excuse to take our people. Period. You don't get to have our men. You don't get to have our women. You don't get to have our children. We got this. So those people who are looking for a solution, that's the solution. Take control of your communities and let the police know you can step back. We got this. We have to police ourselves. And if we have to police the police, then so be it. But it's time for us to stop waiting on them to get it right. We know what's right. And quite frankly, if you don't respect our community, you're a criminal. Am I saying that we need to go to war? No, I'm not saying that we need to go to war. I'm saying that we're already in a war. And it's time for us to accept it. Our people are being killed. And to respond with the conversation of saying, am I next? That's not the proper response. It's time. Why are we in constant fear of something happening to ours? Why is it that when someone does something to our people, we respond with more worry about our people? If you commit a crime, then you are the one who should be worried. You are oppressing black people on their jobs, in their businesses, and in other situations. Then you are the one who should be worried. Why are we walking around on eggshells? No. And I'm not talking about tearing up our communities. No. That needs to stop. And the question is, why is it that we turn on self? Well, we turn on self for the same reason that they turn on us. Because everyone has been taught that we are the bad guys. We're not the bad guys. And if we are not willing to change the language, meaning stop being a victim. Stop saying, well, if it was a white person, then they wouldn't take that. Be a black person and not take it. Does that make sense? Be a black person and not take it. Because if you're going to wait for the system to validate you, it's not happening. You have to stand up. And if you know that someone is coming at you, it's excessive force or an excessive sentence, you're going to wait for the history books to validate you, you're going to already be dead. It's time for justice right now. Period. So what's happening is people are getting upset. And they're saying, why do you keep talking about the problems? What are the solutions? You know the solution, but you're afraid of the solution. You would know the solution if you were white. White people know the solution. The solution is inside of you. Because if you love yourself, you'll take up for yourself. And you won't need the whole community to do it. You will take up for yourself. You will say, no more. This stops today. See, everybody bought the I Can't Breathe shirts. I was looking for the This Stops Today shirts. Enough. We have to stop having conversations from a position of weakness. And we need to start talking from a position of strength. There is nothing wrong with standing up for and defending your loved ones. If the system won't do it, then we have a responsibility to do it. And that's not crazy. What's crazy is expecting this justice system to turn around right now without us responding the way that America would respond for people who look like her quote unquote forefathers. We have to be the forefathers. You cannot depend on the deadbeat daddies in Congress and the White House to do what is necessary for us. We have to stand up by any means necessary. Not now, but right now. And I'm all for peace within. But peace also means listening to that voice of God and being brave and courageous in the face of fear. And sometimes God says, stand your ground. This is Hellstorm. Those are my 2 cents. Peace.
Are you listening?